What's good, everybody? It's your girl Shar. What's up? How you doing? How you feeling? I just want to thank you for tuning into the Surviving Your 20s podcast, baby. Where my goal here is to teach you how to survive and thrive and live your best life in your 20s. Yes. I know it's been a long time since I dropped an episode, but I've been really working hard trying to find guests to come on the show so that we can liven it up. You are such a hater because you know I've been working hard. See how they say it be your own people?
Oh my God.
It be your own
What
people.
episode is episode 100?
Yes, let's claim it. Episode 100. I know that I took a break or whatever, but I was literally trying to find people to come on. I have a forum and everything. And so if you would like to be a guest on this podcast, you can definitely email me. Stop whispering in the mic, you hater. You can definitely email me and
you need to have this energy towards
at Surviving 20s pod. You're saying the wrong information to the people. Surviving20spod at gmail.com. So that's surviving20spod at gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen, but for the people who are only listening, yeah, surviving20spod at gmail.com.
For the people who are listening, they got it because they would have to type it in.
Okay. All right.
To listen to you.
All right. Thank you so much for the insight. Are you done? Are you new here? Okay, so guys, honestly, I wanted to come back, not with any drama, not with any tea, because you know I'm good for. I love a good tea. My radar goes up for tea, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I don't love some tea. But I'm coming back with a great topic. But let me catch you guys up on some things that has been going on. It sounds like stuff has been going on, but literally nothing has been going on. What I will say, though, is that I did meet up with a middle school friend. I did it. I know I said I wasn't going out, and I keep in mind, it's not considered going out. Is it? Yeah. Well, I had a good reason. I feel like I just wanted to reconnect with her, and it was so much fun. I mean, we didn't do something crazy like turn up or, you know, we just sat and spoke, and it was really, really nice. We went to Sweet Chick, and I got some vegan food. It's like a vegan spot. If you know, you know. Well, it's not really a vegan spot. It's a spot that has good vegan chicken tenders and waffles. So, but she got the real chicken and waffles because everybody's not vegan. Yeah, so the food was really nice, and the conversation was even better because this is my son. Like, I was looking for her for so long, and she's going to be a guest on this podcast. So you guys wait and see. I was searching for this girl. Searched all over. Couldn't find her. She had no social media, no Instagram. Like, if I could send out a PSA, smoke with fire, to find her, I would. But then when I saw that you guys will hear the story when she comes on. But other than that, like, I went out, and I feel really good about just making that decision to do so, because as you guys know, I know Carett swears that I'm not, but I am really transformed. I am a transformed introvert. I don't care what nobody says. This is who I was destined to be. I feel like I was a forced extrovert, meaning like I would insert myself. Oh, maybe it's because I'm becoming more mature.
Why you started off the podcast with so much lies?
No, you're just a hater. Cause you're just a hater because you want to be the only person in this relationship.
I'm a truth
with some mystery around you. It was a mystery.
I don't have no mystery.
Oh, yeah, I only speak when I'm spoken to. And I'm this. Like, that's you on 100. And I'm not saying, like, you tell me to do something, to speak, I'm going to speak. I'm not no, like, shy person. But I'm just to myself now. And that's just it. I was always like this. I'm going to tell y'all, since they kicked me out the Cheetah Girls group in 5th grade, 07.
I need to meet those girls.
You need to meet them.
They real shady. You have them on social media?
They was real shady for kicking me out the group.
Do you have these people on social media?
I don't know where they are, but God be with you.
I like them.
Why do you like them?
Because
you're not even talking into the mic. So there's that.
I like them. What grade was this?
I had to be in 4th or 5th grade for sure.
I need to meet these girls.
06, 07.
Because you've been talking about this since the 4th grade.
Yes,
Every
it's my
year.
story. Every year I have to tell this story.
You need to grow up at this point.
No, it made me who I am. So ever since then, and I also I found out like there was this time where I was being bullied because this girl she had a boyfriend and she was like whining on somebody in the back of the school bus. And my big mouth self, I just felt like it was wrong. Like that was me as a child. I always wanted to be a lawyer. I'm always about like finding justice in some way, shape, or form. So I thought it was wrong. She had a boyfriend and she was whining on somebody else. So then I went and said to the girl, I said, hey, she was whining on your boyfriend or whatever. It turned into this whole big thing. Right. And she was like, who said it? Yeah, I was a snitch. I was in like them baby kids. I was a snitch. I don't care. And she was like, who said it? Who said it? And I'm like, I'm so scared. And then they found out it was me who snitched and told back the girl that somebody was wanting on her boyfriend. It was a mess. And then I had my Virgin Mobile prepaid phone. My mother, I called my mom. I said, they've been bullying me. And it's like my teacher was absent for 2 whole days. Shout out to Mr. Elegant. But bro, where was you at? Like, that was my son because he always saved me. Child, he was absent for them 2 days. He went down to Florida. And they bullied me. Like, they really violated me.
Them kids did you in.
They did me dirty. They was throwing. She was throwing. And worse off, it's like in high school, in middle school. Child, this was elementary school with these baby kids. And so, like, my desk was here. If you know, like, how the chairs are set up, it's like 2 desks, 2 and 2, and then, like, 1 on the side. Child, she was throwing crayons at me because we had a substitute. She was like, yeah, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. It was a mess. And from that moment on, I realized how fake and phony people could be because it's like 1 minute she invited me to her sleepover, which is a whole nother story in itself. They invited me to their sleepover to bully me. That's why I'm not even doing it like with these kids. If I see you, it's on sight, mama. No, I'm just kidding. But they really violated me back in the day. Like, so I would learn to be by myself. You remember what I said? You must learn to be by yourself and build. That's what I meant.
Out of all the Jamaican sayings, this is the one that's
be by yourself and build.
You know how much good Jamaican sayings
they are, but this one sticks. It hits me to the core because they like.
It shows the type of language you grew up around.
What?
Pure B words.
What?
Like be by
yourself
and build.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
I really learned though because the whole school turned against me, and this boy,
the whole school, Sean?
The whole 5th grade,
how many 5th grade you had?
It was like 3 or 4 classes.
4 classes of 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And all 4 classes.
Yeah, because she was super popular.
So wait.
Because she had Jordans and she was light skinned, and you know how they was treating them light skins back then. No shade to those who were
let's move on to the podcast. What else you guys to talk about?
I'm just saying.
The
whole point of me saying
let's move on. Oh my God.
Is I learned to be by myself because I was literally going through that, and I realized that, hey, I get good grades. All I got to do is focus so I can get the heck up out of this school. And that's what I did, just that. So shout out to those girls. So low-key introvert. Forced extrovert for sure, because being around people, small talk, very much tiring. Anyways, guys.
Anyways, it's not my podcast.
You know what you are? Gaslighting me. And I don't appreciate that because you're telling me I'm a liar when me and you sit here and have these conversations off the air.
Me?
So you fake and phony because when these cameras turn on, you're a whole different
phony
person.
For you. Everybody's fake. The whole 5th grade with like 100 kids turn against you.
I believe that you would have been 101 because you're fake and phony. You would have turned against me too if we was in the 5th grade together. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay? Carett is a hater. Let me tell y'all right now.
Truth teller.
Truth teller?
Yeah.
I'm going to move on. Y'all, today I'm going to be talking about relationships. I'm not even going to give y'all like a build up to what it is. I'm going to be talking about relationships. I've been seeing relationships in the media, and it's just been really telling on where we are as a society, even as young people, as we date, as we explore, as we try to find the person that we want to quote unquote spend the rest of our lives with, right? I saw this YouTuber that I really love and adore, and she posted a video today that spoke about how she broke up with her boyfriend, and they were together for 3 whole years. Now, this sparked something in me because I'm like, dag, like, I really thought the next step after this was going to be marriage, or it was going to be like, something dramatic, because they were literally, even though they never had like a couples channel or anything like that, they were like the cutest couple. He was, I don't know what he did for a living. I swear. I was just like focused on like the aesthetic of how they look together. And I was like, oh, they look cute together or whatever. So when she posted it, it was just like, what is happening right now as it relates to relationships, and why are people breaking up? And is it social media? Is it jealousy? Is it phones? Like, what is it? Because I am really trying to figure it out, especially for us young people, even older people. Like, they find themselves having some issues as it relates to relationships. And in episode 3 of this podcast, I spoke about like the proper way of getting into a relationship, like vetting someone out, taking your time to know them, like noticing the red flags, noticing also the green flags, pointing out the red flags within yourself. Are your expectations too high? Are they too low? Are you settling for any dusty boy on the corner just because he said, hey, yo, ma? You know what I'm saying? Is that you? Is it you? So I spoke about that briefly. So if you want to take a deep dive into that part of relationships, I suggest you go back to that episode where I spoke about relationships. It was either episode 3 or episode 4. But I am here, and you guys know Carett has a lot of commentary. We speak about relationships all the time because most of the time
I don't have a lot of commentary. What am I doing right now?
What are you doing right now? You're playing your game.
Exactly.
Okay. But for the most part, when we're by ourselves and these cameras aren't on, that's why I would never do reality TV with this guy. I know I would be embarrassed. That's off rip. Once the crew get in here, he's gonna be a whole different person. Once the crew come in, he's gonna be like, I don't even know who this girl is. He is so freaking phony, y'all. But I'm gonna keep going. He said he was, before the cameras got on, he said he would have a lot to say on this topic.
I said I'll give you good energy.
You say you give me good energy.
Good energy.
But right now you're being...
You didn't start talking yet, so let's go. Let's hear what you have to bring to the table.
Okay. I, first of all, would like to say that I really didn't know too much about relationships. I actually thought like the whole phone policy in relationships was absolutely absurd.
That's where you started?
No. I should start right there, right? But let me go from what I wrote in my notes. Okay, when two people decide to come together, like, you guys are actually making a commitment to spend the rest of your life with each other, or try to figure out what can we both bring to this relationship to make it work, to make a legacy or create a legacy. You know what I mean? Like, I would hope that is the point of you kind of trying to find somebody to be in a relationship with. I know the girls out here have other needs, like, they need their bills paid, or they want credit cards and they want nice things. That's a whole nother story. And that's a whole nother category that I'm not really ready to speak on, because even though that gets on my nerves as well, like women using men for money only. Like, I saw this quote on Instagram that said, girl, I guess this woman was divorced and she was like, oh, I married for love the first time. The second time around, I'm married for money. And I'm like, girl, like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. So beyond that, I was thinking about like certain things that might break up a relationship, especially pertaining to like this age group. I'm not talking about your little middle school boyfriend. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you really being committed to someone. You're in a relationship. You kind of just ended up together and you guys are trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Now, I'll say this and be completely transparent. When I first got into a relationship with this person over here on this side of the screen,
I got a name.
Carett, okay, we kind of sat down and spoke
Disperse.
about what we wanted in this relation. Well, he suggested it. So can you explain what you
We
suggest?
talking, but we can just get to the phone. Cause you about to give a TED talk. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the phone lines.
I'm giving a backstory, and you're mad because you don't want to appear soft.
I don't care about being soft. I'm
Scorpio energy.
I'm very
Scorpio energy.
I'm very comfortable in where my position in life. I don't care about a guy. You crazy? Nah. I'm saying, where we at? You saying phone policy?
I said we spoke about. All I was saying is that we spoke about certain things that we wanted in this relationship from the jump.
And to be honest, sometimes some of those talks don't mean one Christ thing.
No, I'm saying I'm going to the part where I didn't completely understand what we were asking of each other. Hence why I said that we sat and we spoke. And although then I understand the concept of us sitting down and speaking about what we wanted in a relationship, I didn't know that I had to give up my phone. I really was like, hey, I want to be married by this time. I want to do this. I want to die. And we going to love each other. But then the phone came and I was like...
The phone wasn't on it.
The phone wasn't on. The phone wasn't on it. And I feel like I didn't know that not saying that you forced me to be on it.
No, I did not.
You didn't?
Nah, let's be honest.
But I was not prepared
be honest.
to give up my phone.
Be honest.
I was not prepared to give up my phone.
I knew you was going to be in a relationship. And I purged.
You purged your phone?
My phone.
Well, thank God you had a head start.
And so my phone was always open and available. And you were always looking and lurking.
Here's your award. Accept it with pride and joy.
Because I knew that we were going to be in a relationship. And I gave up that life. So I never had nothing in my phone that,
You purged it.
But I think you should, if you're going into a new relationship,
you should purge your phone.
You should baptize your phone.
Praise God. Give it a good wash.
You got to make your phone a Christian. Some people don't have Christian phones.
Okay, yeah.
So.
I agree with that in a sense because like you're looking through somebody's phone and now you're seeing their whole life with. But let's take it back a bit because you said you knew that you were going to be in a relationship with me, so you purged your phone. Why not give me the same grace?
Grace?
Yeah.
Mackerel or corned beef?
Because I didn't really get the same grace as it relates to me purging my phone because I just didn't think that I had to give it up at some point. Now, I was more on the shady side when we first began because I just had a lot of people pressing me. I'll say that in my inbox that I would entertain. Not saying that I entertained it while I was with him. It's that it was just very new to me because I just never was in a relationship where it was like an adult relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it was never like, oh, we're actually committed to being married or doing certain things or building an empire together type vibes. So I really didn't believe that this was going to be a part of like the journey, like seeing my phone or, because I will always be like clenching up every time you took my phone. I would be like, why you got my phone? I was like, who, why you got my phone? And not to say that I was cheating, because obviously if I was, you would have known But the mic moved. The mic move is probably telling me to shut up. Don't say nothing else. But I wasn't cheating. But I just felt like, oh, I have my phone and you have yours. You know what I mean? And
Nah, let's talk about how some people are like delusional and unrealistic and greedy and all the words that has to do with not being fair. The reason why people like, we've been in situations before, like I think there will be an unwritten rule like I don't look in your phone, you don't look in my phone.
okay, yes.
So you're with this person and their phone rings. You say, hey, your phone is ringing. And you said, hey, you just got a message. So you're like a third party. You don't touch it.
You don't touch it.
And you don't read it. Because what you want is that I don't want you to touch mines or read minds.
Yeah.
So that's like a silent agreement.
And we talked about silent agreements.
No, that's like an unconscious agreement that people have right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, if there's this person that their phone is always open,
yeah,
and they don't care,
mm-hmm.
now the other person's think like, if they don't care,
yeah,
I could look.
Right.
But that doesn't give them the right to look at mines because I care.
Exactly. So there needs to be
sense.
There needs to be a conversation.
And with an open phone, the next person always take the bait.
All right, give me an example.
Like you took the bait.
Okay, so you admit to me taking the bait.
No, you took the bait. Like I was like, yo,
prepared for the
it's
relationship.
Not prepared. It's just like
using your little peanut brain.
No.
Your little fish brain.
I've had enough minutes in life.
Praise God.
To know that I was at the hour where I didn't want to do that no more. Like I had like different goals in life. Like
so you admit to hiding your phone previously.
I said that like 2 seconds ago. Which podcast you on? I said people have situations where situations where you don't answer the person's phone, you don't ask them because you don't want them to touch. You will tell them, you will see like, hey, you say, why didn't you answer it? No, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't. Even this popular couple on YouTube, I remember she was like, she was doing something at the time, and her man was like, oh, she was like, I don't even know your password. But she was saying it in a joking way. And in my head, I'm like, girl, how you don't know your man's password? Even this is like a touchy topic. So I'll break down, I'll read something from this post that I saw, and they were saying, I typed in, should you go through your partner's phone? They said the long and short answer is no. It's generally not okay. It's a violation of your partner's privacy and a breach of trust.
But stop.
Not to mention.
Stop. Nah, let's do that. Let's do it like a scripture out of the Bible. Read it again. Read.
No. The long and short of it is no. It is generally not okay. It is a violation of your partner's privacy and a breach of trust.
All right. Which privacy?
That's the part where I was good. Let me get into it. Not to mention it's often unproductive. You might find nothing and then feel like a jerk for snooping. You might find something small and innocent and blow it out of proportion. For me, when I seen privacy, I was like, it took me back to when we had marriage counseling, and those videos were like, they were good because, my brain, I remember stuff. Some of them I was like, I just want to get it over with. But then others I was like, all right, let me listen to what they're saying. And I did listen to, for the most part. And there was this couple who they were together, I don't know how long, they're married. And then she found out, I don't know what the story was, but she found out that like her husband was watching porn or whatever. And she was devastated, but allow them to like have a conversation for him to bring up like his struggles with it. And I felt like that was like a beautiful thing because, you know, sometimes if a person has access to your phone or to your computer, or let's say this, even Carl Lentz, the pastor, I mean, his iCloud was a mess. He only got caught cheating. The ex-pastor of Hillsong, he only got caught cheating because his iCloud was connected to the church iCloud. You know what I'm saying? So your phone it holds very valuable information these days. And I think people are downplaying like, how much this digital age has an impact on our relationships, period. Like I was saying before the camera started rolling, like that your man or your girl could pick up her phone and see somebody that look 10 times better than you, or see somebody that has a better body than you, or have better hair than you, weave is laid. And it's just like, it's a lot going on in these phones. So even someone's search history can tell you a lot about them. But while I agree that there should be a policy or a conversation with someone going into the relationship, I feel like there's people that don't have that. So now there's this secret bubble of privacy. You know what I'm saying? But then again, in the same breath, if there's no conversation that you're having with this person, then going through their phone is OD. You know what I'm saying? Because now it could show a little bit of insecurities within you. So that's why I said, even though it's like a secret privacy policy going on and a breach of trust, in my head, if you guys are in it for the long haul, wouldn't you rather be as open as possible? I feel like if you are in a relationship with someone, it is more devastating to find someone out in the ladder, to find something out that you could have easily found out in like a month, the month 1 or month 2. Now you're finding it out like at a year. It's like it could be detrimental to the relationship. You know what I mean? So I'll say that for the privacy thing, although I don't agree with like not hiding your phones, for the simple reason why I feel like, for the simple fact that being open is just less pressure for me. And I'll say that for me personally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be jumping up in the middle of the night like, oh my God, my phone. It's like, okay, breathe. You're not doing anything crazy anyway. And it's just like an open policy. People who are very private about their phone, to me, most times, usually have something to hide. That's what I get from it.
Here's the thing. Some people, I guess a majority of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
The most technology, but not the most, let me phrase it better. They have phones.
Oh, phones.
And probably like a phone plan, and you have your phone, you have the latest iPhone, you have the latest whatever phone.
Mm-hmm.
Then most households have a tablet.
Okay.
And probably a desktop computer. Mm-hmm. Or one laptop.
Or a laptop, yeah.
So they have they put so much stuff into this one phone,
mm-hmm.
that now it becomes like a mini library of themselves, right?
Okay.
The difference with us, right? It's kind of like we know too much. I think that slow people have this problem. Slow technology.
All right.
Slow tech people.
Are you coming for the tech?
No, I'm saying
slower
people.
ones?
Yeah, I said people will just like mostly use their phones,
mm-hmm.
and they're not like wrapped up in using a computer.
Okay.
They have this problem more.
Why do you feel like they have this problem?
Everything they have is right there, and they don't understand like clearing search history and stuff like
Hence Carl Lentz. Because if he was,
let me finish.
Go ahead.
In this house, I got 2 iPad. You got.
Name them. Come on, name it out.
I'm counting. Like, bro, let me check.
Name them out loud. Let me hear you think out loud.
Why you want me? Nah.
Because we're on a podcast. Think out loud.
This Brooklyn impatience is annoying. Let me check. I want to give the correct number. Brooklyn people killed. Anyways, Brooklyn people annoying.
Keep going.
I got a Mac Mini at the spot. I got a Mac Pro right here. Got 2 MacBooks that I have access to. You got a desktop computer, an iPad, that's 6. Your laptop, that's 7. Got like 4 phones. That's up to 11. We have like 12 devices that are in sync.
Okay.
What's the purpose?
What do you mean? Like, what's the purpose of having like a...
No, I'm talking to you. What's the purpose of hiding with 13 devices?
Oh, yeah, it gets messy, especially with an iPhone.
But that's not regular. Most families, they just have their one computer and their phones.
Devices, yeah.
We have like 2 people. We have almost 12 different devices. I work late, you work late. I fall asleep, leave my computer open. So what's the purpose?
I get it, but then some people go the extra mile to make sure that their stuff is airtight. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff, to me, I'm just saying.
If you are a smart person computer wise. There is nothing that I could hide from you.
Oh yeah, I'm very good with the computer.
And there's nothing you can hide from me. Because if I want to find it, I'm gonna find it.
That's true.
I'm gonna go IP address deep to find it if I need to find it.
Okay.
But not a lot of people are gonna do that. So with what we know, it's like it's to us it's pointless.
Yeah, to me it's pointless. That's why I said for me personally, it's just too much. Like if I wanted to really, even sometimes I would try to say I'm doing a surprise for you. I have to remember to go to my computer, go to my other phones and clear everything out. That in itself
or just
is
tell me
a
don't
lot.
Look for the most part, go on Amazon.
We'd be like, don't look on my computer, because even if I'm asking him for like a tip, like, hey, can you help me record this? How do I record it? He's using my computer. Something could pop up. Like, it's just not feasible for me personally. And I guess because our lives are intertwined to the T, it just makes me overwhelmed to even think about how much effort it would take for me to possibly hide search history, and everything like that. It just takes way too much work. And so for the average person, what would I say to them? What would you say to them? Like, because this is an issue that people are not talking about, going through phones and not, when I mean going through, girl, you know if your man cheating, and homie, you know if you getting played. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about going through excessively. Like, if you going through somebody's phone sneaky, y'all both sneaky. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Because you should talk to them about opening up the phone policy if it means so much to you. But sneaking and trying to find stuff.
Nah, sometimes you gotta sneak. You can't knock a good sneak now.
Really? you
Nah.
You say you can't knock a good sneak?
Nah, cause I like the phone. You know, this is why I like the phone. And I think when it comes to phone and a relationship,
sneaky. You only condoning the sneaky because you a sneaky person.
Nah. I think the phone and the thing, I think it's fair game. If you could know someone, they tell you a little bit about their sexual history. You come into a relationship. If you had diseases before, you have to be honest about it. Mm-hmm. Depends on how smart the person is that you're going into a relationship. They're going to be like, when last did you get tested? That's not information that you give to the world. You have to give it to this person. Like, hey, I catch this one time. I did this. But no, I'm good, though. I could get out my paperwork. Then you get a job. You write this person down as your emergency contact.
Okay.
So this person has all this private information about you and is responsible for you in this way.
Okay.
But your phone is the deal breaker. It's like it don't add up. One, but also if you're new in a relationship, the phones speed up your progress.
Okay.
So the phone make or break you. So the phone is a good measuring stick. Like, are we going to make it?
Okay. I agree with you when you say that the phone will expedite the process 100%, because say you're in the car with a dude or whatever, this is your dude, y'all in a relationship, and you see, or maybe you're even dating him, and you see that a girl's name pops up on the screen, and you're like, yo, who's that? Like, and he's like, oh yeah, no worry, like that's my sister Lily or whatever. And then another girl's name pop up, and you're like, yeah, who that? And he like, yeah, that's my sis Ray or Ramona or whatever. And then you meet y'all going to a barbecue, and you say, oh, to his mom, like, oh, I heard you had 2 daughters. And she's like, I only have 1 daughter, and she's over there, and her name is Lisa. And you're like, okay, who are these women? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes these sisters really don't be sissing. You know what I'm saying? The sisters don't sis no more like how they used to sis back in the day. I don't know. Maybe they was doing some sneaky junk back in the day. But beyond that, the point is that it can expedite the process, because now you're seeing like this person's true colors. You're seeing like if they are really saying the truth. You know, it might not match up. You know what I'm saying? You go through his phone. He said he work at FedEx. Meanwhile, you see a picture of him on the corner with his boys. He don't really got no job. You know what I'm saying? It could expose the unexposable. Like back then, they probably really was finessing mad women. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was getting finessed.
Cause like, you know, they have these stories about how men went to war, and people start a whole
another family.
No, now the women, like some of them had the kid, gave it away, and just went on
like nothing happened.
Like, if they had a phone though.
If they was snapping pictures at the war.
They said, like, how you look so big right here?
I saw a post that said, when your husband is deployed, when your neighbor's husband is deployed at 4 months or whatever, 4 months ago, and his wife turned up 3 months pregnant, I was weak, because that be some of the cases. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what I'm saying, like, now with technology, you have like a way to like prove stuff went wrong. So it's like, I feel like, let's also talk about types of relationship. This only applies for a serious relationship.
That's what, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm saying we if you're in a serious relationship, then it applies to you. Like, hey, you can't share bank accounts.
Yeah.
See social securities.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Know where everything is at. Know deep personal issues.
Information, insurance policies, XYZ.
And then hide phone.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like
the math ain't mathing.
It's like you have a foot. It's like it don't make any sense. But if you are in an open relationship, or you say you're not
open, meaning like
that's a form of relationship that they have. Open relationship, that's one.
Open meaning like
you dating other people, or you not
okay.
Or say you have a person you have separate apartments, so you kind of live separate lives, so you're just seeing each other. I mean, at that point, I don't think you could press nobody for their phone, because them not being with you 24/7 is saying that, hey, I don't want to be with you 24/7. So I think you shouldn't have that.
But I would like to say something on the traditional relationship aspect of it. Not saying that I'm a person, because you guys already know what I feel and what I believe in. I just know that some people just don't do well with the traditional relationship aspect. So even the living in separate apartments or whatever, it might work for some people.
Nah.
I saw an article with this lady saying her and her man live separately. When she go over there, she go over there, and they're married.
Listen, and
But
what I'm saying is, there's a thing called 24-hour access,
okay,
and there's a thing called business hours.
okay.
If you're in a relationship that you don't see a person 24/7, I don't
24/7.
That means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You don't see me 24/7.
I have access to you 24/7.
Okay,
I have access to you. I have access to you in your sleep.
Okay.
I have access to you when I leave this house.
Do you feel, now I'm going to get down to the wire here. Someone play Kanye. Do you feel like even the thought of having access to someone's phone is like, this is a question. Do you feel like it's like an act of, I need to know because I'm almost scared of the unknown? Like, say, for instance, this person is super sweet. It's like, for the example, in the Robert Greene book, where the man ultimately was dating multiple women, and there was this guy who was dating multiple women, and he would break up with them before they even got a chance to know him, and then come to find out his mother was very narcissistic growing up, and so he had abandonment issues. So in order for him to not relive that experience, he then broke up with people before they even got a chance to know him, or break up with him because he's scared of that same fear. Now, with the phone policy, do you feel like somehow it could be used as I guess a trauma response to certain things that happened to us as a child, or not having access to certain information, and now we have access to this information, so now we feel entitled to this information?
No, none of that matters. If you have a phone and you don't want nobody to see it, it means that there's a side of you that I don't want, a side of me that I don't want to show you. That is all. That's all it means, and it doesn't have to be that you have another partner,
or cheating, or
it doesn't have to be relationship based. It could be that I'm filthy rich, and I don't want you to see how much money I really have.
Yes, because that's even another issue that people are having separate bank accounts. I know someone, okay, I be knowing people with these examples. If you know who you are, shout out to you. I know someone who told me that they had a secret bank account from their partner. And that was scary to me, because I need to know what's going on in the bank account.
So I'm saying sometimes it has nothing to do with relationships.
What you mean cheating?
Or cheating. Mm-hmm. It's like information that I have that I don't want you to know at this present moment. Mm-hmm. So say, oh, they have this rich uncle or somebody in their family in prison. Suppose they have like a serial killer in their family that they was super cool to, and they have these memories in their phone, and if you see this serial killer, like, you know this person.
I understand the privacy thing, the privacy, whatever this post was saying, I think it was on HuffPost, whatever. The privacy thing can get blurred, because if you even think about the relationship that I'm going to have with my daughter or son growing up, it's like me saying, hey, I'm going to respect their privacy. And I'm not like, no, at some point.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
no
like
respect.
there's no, and I feel like it might sound a little harsh, but I remember my dad raided all of our Facebook pages as a child. Like, I was in shambles when my father pulled up, yo, what you put my Facebook? Show me what you put my Facebook. And I put that I was interested in men. Obviously, I wasn't interested in women. The only other option was men. It's not, they didn't have an option. And Mark got to explain himself, because there's no option to say, oh.
You never had to put it in.
You had to put it in.
You never had.
Well, back then, I didn't know that. But listen, I was 14.
But be honest.
Okay.
A moment of
transparency.
You was hype put it in the men.
I mean, I'm interested in men.
You was like, man, interested in man.
But
Yeah,
I
man.
also had that on MySpace too, because there was a little piece of me that was like, oh, this is like what freedom looks like. This is what happens when you grow up around technology. You know what I'm saying? We were the first gen to kind of grow up with the old school type of technology and see it transform into this new hype thing that it is now. Like, it's like really cool. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm interested in men. My father said, "Will you put my Facebook?" He was going off on all of us. I remember I had a picture in like a dress, and then my hand was like this, and I was like this. He said, "Take it down. Take it down." It was a mess that day up in the Cooper's household. Like, we had to take a lot of stuff down, and that's why I could see where the privacy thing could kind of be like blurred, because at what point is like a gray area? Where do we
But
draw the line? Like,
this is
you
what
need to and prevention. What they say, what did you make it say? Prevention is better than cure. To prevent something's actually better than curing it, because sometimes these things can be avoided if we take the proper precautions. So they're not like detrimental.
but staying on the line, right? The topic. I think if you're gonna put yourself in a fully committed relationship, you shouldn't hide parts of you.
Yes, and that's what I learned in marriage counseling.
That's number one.
That was it right there.
However, if you're not mature enough, and you feel like you want to make up your own rules, and this is how the relationship is going. There are like many different type of relationships. I only know about the one that I'm in, but if you visiting somebody, if you see them half of the week, the next 4 days, nobody could tell you what not to look on. Nobody could. It's hard to keep a tab on that. And accountability.
Accountability. That's the big thing right there.
Because then again, we're humans. We're not God.
Right.
You cannot depend on us to raise the sun tomorrow.
Okay.
We're not God. So if you give a human being any amount of freedom, one day they're going to take it.
They're going to take it.
So you can't just be no, they would never, no, you can't do that.
It's like the open, I feel like sometimes when people get cheated on, and not saying that anyone deserves it, but in some cases, not most, not all, I said some cases we leave these doors open and then we behave so oblivious, like, how did this happen? So one thing I will say that I learned being fully transparent is that I'm not a person that could have any male friends, or I've never had a male best friend. I never had one, and I don't think I could ever have one, because they always end up liking me. And I was fully aware of that before I got into a relationship. Now, it's up to you as a person to understand the type of, you never stopped me from, say I had I'm not saying that, if me and Carett are together, he said I can't have a male best friend. No, the trajectory was I didn't have one coming in. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this person grew up with me and I had where these, and sometimes people use that as an excuse. I find that we use it as an excuse, this person is just my friend, they're just my friend, when you really just want to have a secret part of you or a secret life that you're living. And if that's what you want to do, fine. But if the other person is not living like that, I feel like you're low-key doing them a disservice by not keeping it a stack. Another thing I will say is that I didn't believe in cutting exes off. I didn't believe that was a thing. I thought that and this is just for me. You do you. Don't try to come for me and say, Shar is telling a girl to not talk to their ex. If you want to talk to your ex, baby, talk to your ex. You know what I'm saying? So number one, the thing with the dudes, I never had a male best friend. I mean, I'm not opposed to hanging out with people, but I'm just very cautious of the energy that I bring into this relationship, because the more time you spend with someone, regardless of what you think and how powerful you think you are as a person, I'm so great at managing people and putting people in categories, and nobody could tell me about my man, or nobody could do this. No, you're not that good. You're not as good as you think, because the more time you spend talking to someone and having interaction with them, sometimes you might fall for them and it might just happen. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many times you just spent time with someone and you ended up liking them previously if you were in just living your life single. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you kind of start thinking like, hey, this person is kind of cute. You know, they start looking a little good because now you're spending time with them. So I just feel like I could not be the girl based on my emotional status and how am as a person, period. I just couldn't do the X thing.
People are hiding stuff if you can't see it. And if you're not in a serious relationship where you see this person every day or you committed to them on that level, you shouldn't press for that privilege.
Yeah, that part too. Because then you got girls who be like, let me see your phone after 3 days. Bro, no.
Yeah, so
now, what are we...
But I'm saying, like, if you want life insurance, car insurance,
emergency contact,
bank accounts, it's like, at this point, and like,
let's take it
what are you hiding?
Some of the people are giving up the goods. You're giving up the goods to this person, but you can't get access to their phone. Child, please.
Don't try to shade nobody. Listen what we saying.
I'm not trying to shade nobody.
Be nice.
All right, I'm going to be nice.
Be nice.
I'm a little spicy.
Be nice. Listen, what we're saying
I'm
is that... I'm
speaking for myself, though.
If you give life insurance access, health insurance access, car insurance, joint bank accounts, joint rent, or joint lease, like, at this point, you not sharing your phone is kind of not what it don't make no sense. But if you're in a different situation,
okay,
and if you're new, this is my advice. This is a crackhead advice. Take it or leave it. If you're in a new relationship and you get a chance to look into a phone, look.
Are you giving sneaky advice right now?
Look. If you're in a new relationship and you see a phone open, look. You might save yourself some trouble.
You might save yourself some trouble. You might be dating a serial killer, girl. You better run. You might see him. Oh, imagine you're dating someone and you open his phone and you see just preparing a pot to boil up tonight. You look. You got saved.
If you see information, you got to take it.
You got it. Because you would have went, hey, me and Ben are going camping. Whole time he trying to eat you. Like, girl, you better go. You better run.
I mean, you should agree. If you're in a new relationship, you say, we're not looking in each other's phone. Are you giving the people
sneaky advice?
No, this is great advice. Okay. This is great advice.
I'm so weak right now.
If you're in an old relationship and you're fighting for phones and password, I think you need to evaluate your relationship.
Yes. If you're at 4 years, 5, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, what's at happening? That point, you need to check. You need to like have a table.
You need
one of them table discussions.
Hit up that girl for a table talk.
Yeah, you need to at that point, because at a couple of years in, you shouldn't be fighting for that.
You can really tell if somebody's committed to you by how they give you access to certain things.
And that's if and that's because we don't want to be. I'm on here, so I'm a man. I'm not spicy. We got to be fair. If you're in a long relationship with somebody and you decide not to, and it's working, great. Mm-hmm. However, if you need that privilege and you're not getting it, you should demand it.
You should get it.
If it's a serious relationship. Mm-hmm. And if you're new and you agree not to look, you should agree not to look. But if you get the chance, look.
Okay.
What you say to that?
Let me tell you what I've learned on these here internets, on these people here, World Wide Web. I am not trying to classify myself as like some relationship guru. Should I ever end up on Spencer Cornelius' channel? Is that his name? Giving people advice that don't make sense. I agree with you because at the end of the day, you have to know what's best for you. Don't ignore your intuition and your gut feeling because it's so crazy how you could be sitting here. I was listening to Robert Greene talk today. My uncle, I'm gonna call him my uncle now, because he was talking about how 95% of what we do as human beings are sometimes like we're not doing it consciously. Like the human nature aspect of us, like we're just going, we're moving, because these are things that we've done since the beginning of time, and a lot of us don't step outside of ourselves to say, hey, like this person actually isn't it sad that we don't see when somebody's playing us in the moment? Sometimes it takes us like it's after the aftermath, and you sit down and you say, wow, this person did this shady thing to me, but I couldn't figure it out until it all hit the fan. Like, why do we have to wait constantly over and over for stuff to hit the fan for us to kind of, get it? And then even when we get it, we still don't learn from our mistakes. So the advice that I would give to you is to trust your gut feeling. And if a phone is what you require for your relationship to work, or you want that open policy based on whatever, then yeah, you know what I mean? And this is for serious relationships. I'm not talking about the girls who using the dudes for meals and stuff. I mean, if that's how you eat, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here. Capitalism is real. If that's how you eat, mama, get your food.
That's bad advice.
I don't care. I'm saying, I'm not judging. This is what I'm saying to you. You're telling me to take it easy on the girls. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying to take it easy on them.
The pantry is open. But I digress.
The pantry is open, but regardless if it's open or not, there are women that still are going to be out here finessing dudes for meals. End of story. Okay? So, if that's how you get around...
They say there's girls out here with a sweet tooth.
They got a sweet tooth. They love the steak. They love the steak.
Ruth Chris
Steakhouse. Yes, Ruth Chris. Capitalism is real, girl. Get you some steak for tonight and get a to-go box for me. Okay? The math ain't mathing. But, I mean, regardless of how I feel about those women, I just feel like, hey, you got to trust your gut feeling and do what's best for you at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But also keep in mind that there's somebody else. And if you're a person because majority of the time, there are people who be mad sneaky. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want somebody in your phone, like you said, they do be sneaky. They be sneaking. Majority of the people who did not want me in their phone was being mad sneaky. So I get it. I always share like a story of me going through somebody's phone. They told me they were somewhere, and then I go through their phone and I saw that they were in a whole nother country with somebody else.
That's the Lord right there telling you to run.
That person was knocked out. I was looking at their phone. I said, wow, this is crazy, car. And literally that's where it ended. But it's God blocked it.
But also,
can you imagine if I didn't go through that?
No, stop. But also think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If a person truly loves you,
if they love me,
and you just started in a relationship, and you got caught spying. Okay. I don't think that would be a deal breaker if they love you.
I agree.
Because if like, why? You should have just asked. I'd have gave it to you.
Yeah, just ask, cunt.
Yeah. All right, next time just ask. If you have a concern, just let me know.
But some of these things be deal breakers.
Once it's like,
yo, shorty, why you go through my phone? You know my business, man. You know I be doing things. You know why you go through my phone, shorty? Like, bro, I can't deal with no chick that can't trust me, period. Those be the same ones that be cheating too. Going mad hard for your phone. Like, I don't get it with the phone. Like, I cannot understand it. I personally been trying to wrap my head around this phone thing for a long time. But it's a gift from God. Y'all got to go to Steve Jobs and you got to say thank you for the iMessage. You know what I'm saying? There's so many great things that happen on these phones, but there's revealing things that happen on these phones. There's search histories that happen on these phones. I remember. Yo, let me tell you.
I got a word from the Lord. I got a word from the Lord.
I got something to say. The government uses the phone. You think you all private, but you go do something crazy and the government got all your Google search, everything, all your history. Your partner can't have that. And the government is taking it for free $99. Let me tell you something. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
You ain't as private as you think you are. What's the better word? You think you better than me?
Listen, I'm a better prophet over here right now. The Lord is speaking to me.
Is he?
Listen,
Shanama.
I'm in the right portal right now.
Are you in? Is he in the room?
Listen, I'm in the.
He is in the room.
There are many portals open, but I'm in the right one. I can assure you, I'm in the right portal.
You're in the right.
Let me tell you something.
Yes, talk to us.
There's not a prophet.
Oh.
I'm telling you. There's not a prophet on this earth
I want a new Honda.
That could be the iPhone. Mm-hmm. I think that just went over your head.
It went over my head. Repeat it again.
There's not a prophet walking right now.
There's not a prophet walking right now.
That could give you what that iPhone could give you.
You really think so?
I'm talking about to reveal a person to you in its entirety.
In its entirety.
That iPhone got everything. Or that phone could tell you things that only the phone could tell you.
Only the phone could tell you.
And that in itself is a gift from God.
REAL. That's real right there.
That means you don't have to give people who you don't want to give prophetic powers to, because you have the answer right beside you.
I found the answer in his phone. The solution to my problem was right in his phone.
Listen, but on a serious note, I think it is very rude and disrespectful.
Okay.
For you not to put yourself in a serious situation with somebody and don't reveal yourself to them.
Yes, it's actually quite scary.
Yeah, I think it's very dishonest.
It's dishonest.
It's criminal. It's bad.
It's bad.
Cause say I'm a killer. You can't see my phone. You sleep and the feds kick off the door. That's not fair to you.
But in reality, killers don't think about that stuff.
No, it's not even just killers. It's like you doing stuff like you have beef with somebody. You're not real with me. I go outside, somebody knock me out. And that's the reason why I couldn't see your phone, because the messages was going around with your friends like, hey, he's on this block. He's doing this. I'm in the midst, but I did not know.
Yes.
And I can't see your phone, so I couldn't even help myself.
But so, that's why I just think people need to be forthcoming. And I believe that these phones have allowed people to create a somewhat a new identity. You know what I mean? And this identity is very sacred to them because they don't really have to show up. They could be this person in their pajamas, you know what I'm saying? They could be this person on the toilet. Like, they don't really have to show up and be their true, authentic self. So it kind of is like an identity that is sacred. I mean, we'll hear about it. Hopefully, I'm alive to hear about it.
Let's give some good advice now.
Some good advice?
Good or great advice. I think me and you.
Yeah, you and I.
We're not innocent.
We ain't innocent, no.
So, let's go pros and cons.
Okay.
So, I used to hide my phone in previous situations. And, there was stuff in there that was,
treacherous.
Different sides. But when the stress that comes with that is very high. You got to be a cold person not to stress about that. Mm-hmm. And if you're a cold person, you wouldn't care if somebody's seen your phone, so it don't add up. Yeah. But I used to turn my phone off when it's time for me to sleep. Mm-hmm. So that's to ensure that nobody trespasses. You know what I mean? But if you ever wake up and can't locate your phone, the chest pain that you feel.
The chest pain is real. You be like, it's like a fish out of water. Where my phone? You see my phone?
That
Then you see the
chest-
person wake up and staring at you. Who's by? Like it could get real nasty and crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the con is that you get to have a different side of you that you don't expose. Which you at that point in your life you might think that I need it so bad.
I need it so bad. Mm-hmm.
But the con is that the stress. And then you have to be lying.
You are now a liar.
A serial liar.
And you have to remember your lies because they start getting out of control. They
right?
really do. They really do.
Right?
Yeah.
So the pros is that you get to live this extra life that nobody knows about and just you on your phone bonding with the extra life. Right? But the cons is that, and then you could end up in a fight, your chest pain and you lying. So it's like 3 cons to one pro. But in the situation that we're presently in, we don't have that problem.
Yeah.
And see, because we a podcast and being honest, it's like if something is private, we make it known that it's private. And private is not among us.
Okay.
Private is like among other people. Like, if my mom says something that, and you say, what was that? I'm like, it's something that she said, I shouldn't tell nobody.
You shouldn't say nothing, yeah.
And it's not no criminal activity. It's probably just something deeply personal or something that
maybe
she
she just doesn't want to share right now.
So that's the stuff that if somebody say, yo, I'm saying this to you, but don't. And that's rare because I'm not that important.
Okay, I mean.
I don't know. I'm not no guru that people are dropping like life
information
secrets.
And life secrets. But
I'm going to tell you right now, if you write my Instagram, you kind of write short.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's the relation. That's the pros is that I ain't got no extra heart pains or chest pains.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
There's nothing to hide, so it's like free. You know that there's and no surprises too. If a surprise coming, the person like Char gonna be like, "Hey, this happened."
Yeah, like there's this...
You're not gonna wake up and do a surprise like, "Hey."
Oh my God! Yeah, I'd be like,
"Hey, guess what?"
I'd be like, "Hey, look, this person," and it wouldn't be like a big deal. Whereas if I was completely oblivious and thrown off by this information, so there are some things that even say somebody that I spoke to as a friend, like a girlfriend, would tell me, I just wouldn't personally come to you and tell you all her business, because that's just not how I operate. Even though we're in a relationship, like there's certain things, like you said with your mom, there's like, if somebody's going through a hard time, I don't think it's your duty to share everything with your partner. We're definitely not saying that. However, there are certain things that are really a con when you're in a serious relationship and you think about the phone and all the stress and drama that comes when you hear that iPhone ping, okay? And it could really make or break your relationship. A lot of people aren't saying it. I'm telling you, we'll probably hear a documentary that comes out in like the next 10 years. Like they had one, The Effects of Kids in Social Media, and them photoshopping and body cropping and pop locking and doing everything under the sun so they could look like the Instagram models or whatever. And we're probably gonna hear a documentary on the effects that it has on relationships, or even like live to see it within our own community or in our children. Like we are going to see a whole bunch of stuff with this social media thing. And so I'll say this: guard your heart. You know what I'm saying? Guard your heart, guard your mind, and if you are in a relationship, a marriage, you should be 100% open and honest with the person that you are dealing with. Okay,
serious relationship. Don't put that on everybody's relationship. Everybody don't have to do it.
No, everybody don't have to do it, and that's on you. You know what I'm saying?
I think also that's like a problem with people who push this narrative of opening your phone to your partner. It's like not everybody agrees to that.
Yeah.
But that don't mean you're excluded from a good sneak.
See, you in this sneak thing. You are bent on this.
No, if you're sharing your body with somebody, you would be a fool.
But in Melanie Trump's, is that her name? Melanie Trump's case? Like, that's what I'm saying. Some women, and this is what I'll say on that. And, like, that's in the dynamic of a relationship. Like, say Trump and Melanie, they probably won't have these problems. Because if Trump says, don't look at my phone, she ain't gonna look at that phone. She want that money. She don't care. So if that's the agreement that you have,
she's still a woman at the end of the day. That's a
no,
bad
I'm
example.
saying she's still a woman at the end of the day. But it goes to my point. Like, some people don't have that agreement, so, and we can't force it on people to have it.
But I'm saying this is where it gets tricky in a relationship. If you're lying with somebody and newing somebody,
complete Bible terms.
You fall asleep. Oh, that's how you can't. It's like putting the snacks in front of kids and be like, "Don't eat it. I'm going around." That's the trick you're playing. Like, who does that? Like, you just finished sharing parts. What's the phone? It's right there.
But Carett, you just said that it's not for everybody, so it's not. Regardless of if they're lying down with each other or not.
I'm saying not everybody. Let's get this clear. If you're not in a serious relationship where you're sharing all of your information, this should not be a concern.
Okay.
But if you're with somebody and they go through your phone, it's fair game because they're with you.
Okay.
And you could choose at that point, because this is a free world.
Okay.
To pack up your stuff and leave if that's your deal breaker.
If that's the deal breaker, for sure.
But you cannot take pieces of people's body.
Okay.
And tell them, well, this is a private entity.
Okay, so this is private, but not my private. Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
I and essentially, I understand completely. And once again, to survive in your 20s, you just have to be really realistic. In this digital age where everybody's being fugazi, you got to cut through all the noise and try to figure out, like, what's really working. Because a lot of the stuff that we think is normal is actually completely not normal. And we've normalized certain behaviors and certain relationships and glorified them. And that's why I want to have, like, real couples come on the channel and tell you how they survived in their 20s and even currently being married and being in a serious relationship, because we can't depend on the media to dictate to us how we're going to be growing in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because half the time we don't even know what's going down in these people's lives for real.
But and also, we're ending now.
Yeah.
I know we drop a lot of gems and whatsoever, but the last one that we could end on is that there are two things in this life. And if you're black, you have less information on it.
Okay.
But two things you're going to fail at. Relationships. And money. And if you're black, I only could speak for black. It's more.
The likelihood?
The likelihood is more.
Very
Relationships and money, right? Because, yeah. So, you shouldn't feel bad if a relationship don't work out.
Exactly.
Because you don't have a lot of information on it.
And it wasn't passed down to us. It wasn't. For sure.
You did not get a lecture. There's not a class in school called relationship.
No.
And there's not a class in school that says that the name of the class is how to be wealthy or how
to survive capitalism.
No, not even capitalism. How to never be broke. there's no classes on that.
You have
So
$5. How to split that
I mean,
to
this
make food for the
generation,
week?
I know for our generation, we're gonna pass it down because
Yeah.
we're talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be a thing like, hey, don't get mad if the relationship don't work out, because
Yeah.
guess what? Everybody comes into a relationship with a different level of relationship knowledge.
For sure.
And now you expecting this person to, you sleep with them, and now you're expecting to switch brains.
Yeah.
And like, we're gonna have this brain transfusion, and the information that you have, I'm gonna get, and the information that I have, you're gonna get.
And the
and
real
it does not work
information
like that.
of how it works is going to transform to both of us, and we're going to get it right. No.
Nah. So even if you stay together, if people are being honest, you had a 6 months span where you were failing. Some people have a year, and this don't mean cheating. It just mean like, yo, you wasn't being caring enough. You wasn't doing this enough.
You were a little bit lazy,
and
things were happening.
Yeah,
couldn't get a grip.
And the reason why this happens is because there's not a class you could go for this.
And
nobody has the correct answer.
Nobody has the correct answer, and I've always said this before. I was very open about the culture that the gen behind us, which is kind of shaping like the zeitgeist of this generation that we have now. They weren't giving us information. They weren't passing anything down, really, but being real stern and, aggressive about not having sex before marriage and doing all these things, and make sure you go to school to be a nurse, doctor, lawyer, whatever have you. That's what they gave us. Very strict people. So I feel like because of that, when we're entering this information age where we have like Google at our fingertips and we could kind of learn everything, somehow we're overdoing it. You get what I'm saying? It's so much information that people are just overwhelmed to the point where people are having podcasts saying foolishness. You know what I'm saying? This person is telling you to do this. This person is telling you to do that. What am I to do? There's not really a substantial place, like you said, where you can go and find this information and it just be correct. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it doesn't have to be 100% correct, but correct to a point where multiple people can use it and it can elevate all of us as a society. We don't have that right now. So basically, we're just like, not saying that we're the experiment of this social media, but we kind of are the foundational people that are going to kind of set the tone for what's happening after, So I completely agree with you in this whole relationship thing. It's like we have so much information out there, and that's why you have to say, you know what, if my relationship failed, all right.
But then again, I would feel that it's selfish. It's designed to be. It's designed that way for you not to have the relationship. Mm-hmm. No, to have that information. Mm-hmm. Because if you can't maintain good relationships, because there are families out there that probably they're keeping secret workshops in their households, how to. Best believe there's a family out there teaching their kids how to be in great relationships. Mm-hmm. It's just not publicized.
Yeah.
Because if you could foster great relationships and ensure that your families are going to stay together, you're going to have a great tribe. Mm-hmm. And if you could manage money and stay rich, you're going to have an even greater tribe.
You guys are going to be so far ahead.
Yeah, so now, if I don't transfer that information to everybody, I'm always ahead.
Always ahead.
So we're going to leave these people to figure it out, and then probably the next generation for them will be okay. And that's what's happening.
And that is exactly what's happening. And let's be real with the whole money and just lack of information. Like, I blame, first of all, the school systems for sure. 100%. Because if you want to say, oh, well, my parents didn't, well, who taught them? Not the school systems. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it stems from like the school systems and the way they want us to, and not just.
Sure. We could leave that alone. I just said it. It's by design.
No. I'm adding to a little fire to the flame a little bit, but I'm agreeing with you. Essentially saying like, if they had practices and things in place, then we would have been okay. But unfortunately for us, we have to just
It's not
figure
even
it
just
out.
us. It's other races too. Because even within dominant nations, they're not sharing that information publicly. It's happening in small rooms. Like, I think Trump is the greatest example of it. Meaning that I think that probably his kids, they probably have relationships with other people. But I think when it comes on to standards, Ivanka is married to Jared, or however you pronounce his name. Jared is mad smart.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go down. Yeah, and like, they don't preach it like how black people preach it. But say Umar, I'll be listening to Umar for fun sometimes, but then sometimes he's like this Andrew Tate guy that some things just make sense. Like, when you think about it, like, love is important, but for them, numbers is important too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know who Jared is, or how you pronounce his name, but he's smart and he
And
rich and he not they family. What I'm saying is, like, when it comes on to how they stack their family up, it's numbers, finance,
and it's all a strategy, and it's kind of like is giving more back in the day principles, as in like, oh, I set my kids up to do, but also most people who are equipped to teach people how to be in relationships and they know a little bit about money, that when they pass it down to their kids usually choose what they saw, if that makes sense.
True.
So sometimes if you have the example in front of you,
that's true
they're
too.
not gonna be like, oh, I want a drug dealer on a corner. No shade, but it's true. Like, they not gonna downgrade, and most times when they do downgrade, the family be up in arms, in shambles. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like this is how you're supposed to raise your kids, but there are certain things that happen, and I feel like, one, we blame the teachers who teach us, period. The system in place. The system is just not working for none of us. You know what I'm saying? I.e., we don't know how to cook until, everybody frying salmon. If they do one more thing with the salmon, I just don't get it. Now, I'm just saying, like, we really are just going on YouTube winging this whole life thing because of the neglect in the system, period. Like they just don't cater to us growing and developing. One last thing I'll say on just relationships, period. I saw this TikTok of this guy saying like, yo, everybody's not a hustler. Everybody don't get up and, want to be working 9 to 5s or whatever, hustling to essentially make it. You know what I'm saying? Like working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. He's like, some people just want to go to work and come home and be with their family. And it really resonated to me that if we're not teaching people about relationships, if we're not teaching them about how to make money, right? Then what happens is that we're just consistently building like broken families. So if you're not wealthy, super wealthy, you don't have the opportunity to spend time with your kids to instill this information in that. You understand where the whole system is just like completely off. It's just not working in a lot of our favors. Hence why we're having this battle, because like I said, the spirit of this generation is just everybody has the answer, when we really don't have the end. Not when literally we're all figuring it out at the same time.
Nah, but this is what I'm saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you with me, and I'm annoying. I know I talk to you sometimes. You be annoying, cause I'm a musician. I preface that. So I have crackhead tendencies.
Okay.
So.
And end with this note for us.
Nah, crackhead tendency. I'm just saying, like, yo, the people who are online, probably 2% have real information.
Yeah.
Most of the people online that that are given advice and expertise on a specific topic, they're doing it because the platform is available.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people with the real information, you have to pay them to get
You
it.
have to pay for sure.
So that's just putting more confusion in the atmosphere.
Very much.
Think
It's
about-
giving confusion.
Think about all the good doctors on YouTube. There are probably 3 good doctors or 5. I know 2.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's giving advice is just reading something off Google and
Yeah,
telling
like,
you,
drink a gallon of water a day. Y'all wilding. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just blowing.
Let's talk about that gallon, but a different
no,
podcast.
that's a different podcast. Everybody's giving advice. We're all in shambles. And so I do understand it. It's a lot of information out there. So it's really hard to like cut through what's giving results. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
what's
the
guaranteed.
person who is really a great financial advisor,
Mm-hmm. He ain't
you
on
would
the
get
internet.
him on a podcast, but he ain't gonna start a channel.
He ain't on the internet. Like, hey guys, here's how. That's why I said I'm not trying to end up like being a fake guru. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all.
It's a fact.
I don't have all the answers. Don't come for me and say, "Oh, Shar, you told me to look through my man phone and he slept." Girl, don't come to me. I'm not marketing myself as that. I'm just saying, like, I'm here to assist you and to give stories and experiences that I've gone through, and it may work. And it also may not. You take what you take, and you leave what's not for you. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's all I have to say on that. Like we said in closing, every relationship is not like a traditional, like, a man and a woman. I'm being honest about it, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like everybody is out here doing what I'm doing. No. A lot of relationships aren't serious. They choose to play around the whole entire relationship. Some relationships go on and on for decades without a title, but it's good shade. It's elevation shade.
Outro.
Praise the Lord. Now, here's my, for all of you guys who want to know, my password to my phone is on this next episode of Surviving Your 20s podcast. No, for real. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so excited that you guys joined me. Remember, take this advice as you wish. Apply what works and leave what don't work for you, and I'm okay with that. Thank you for staying till the end, and also let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about phone policies, about being private. Do you feel like, have you ever been in a relationship where it was like it worked out and you guys never showed each other the phone? Like, I want to know, because I'm curious. I know that there's just not one way of doing things. I'm just curious to see how y'all be living, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a little nosy. So email your girl at surviving20spod@gmail.com. So that's surviving20spod@gmail.com. And make sure you check out my Instagram, Surviving 2.0. Thank Carett for giving his wonderful insight today, as always. And make sure you follow him too.
And I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Oh, you don't want none of my clout? I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, but you can follow him if you'd like. I'll give you the option. Just like the phone. You see what I did there? Okay. Now, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and I love you guys. Later.